If you haven't caught on yet, I'm doing top 5 players at each position in the NFL. Last week I did wide receivers, the week before that I did quarterbacks. Today I was thinking of doing offensive line, but I was like, you know what? I might save that one for later. Let's go with running backs. So today we're going to be talking about the top 5 running backs in the NFL in my opinion. But before we get into that, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and comment down below who you guys think is the top 5 running backs in the NFL. And like always, I'm going to start off with some honorable mentions, guys that I think could easily be on the list, but for whatever reason, they're not on the list. Now, my first honorable mention is Josh Jacobs, running back from the Raiders. Now, this guy started off the season really good, but then later on, he got banged up, and he couldn't finish the season, or he didn't finish the season. So the reason why he's honorable mentions is because I think he's really good, but he was a rookie last year, and, it's not a big enough sample size because how many players have not been good for 1 year and then, they end up sucking the rest of their careers? Running back wise, I mean, you had Peyton Hillis with the Browns, 10 years ago? Remember? Dude ended up on a Madden cover and then completely disappear. You had Trent Richardson from the Browns as well. Had his really good rookie year, or decent rookie year, and then, completely trashed the rest of his career. So you just never know, but I do think Josh Jacobs has a lot of potential, and if he stays consistent, he could definitely be a top 5 running back in the future. Now, another guy on my honorable mentions is Alvin Kamara. Now, Alvin Kamara is very good. He's a good running back, and he's a good receiving back as well. Now, the reason why he didn't make my top 5 is simply because I think the guys in the top 5 are simply just better than Alvin Kamara. No knock on Alvin Kamara. I still think he's very talented, but still, I think these other guys on the list are better than him. And my last honorable mention, I got Mr. Dalvin Cook. Now, Dalvin Cook, he is a very good running back. He is one of my favorite running backs in the league. But early on in his career, he couldn't stay healthy, but he stayed healthy this year. And you guys saw the impact he had with the Vikings. The dude is really good. And now there's talks about him potentially holding out because he wants a very big contract. And I don't know if he is going to get that contract. Personally, I don't believe running backs should get huge contracts like that, especially one like Dalvin Cook, who hasn't really been able to stay healthy. I mean, yes, he stayed healthy last year, but running backs, they take a beating, man. Especially ones that you use repeatedly over and over again. They take a beating, so I'm not sure it would be smart for the Vikings to give him a big contract. I think it'd be smarter to have him just play on the tag and then straight up, as messed up as this might sound, it's just the way it goes in the NFL. Run him to the ground and then throw him away, because that's what pretty much every team does with running backs. They use him up, run him to the ground, and then throw him away, then draft another running back in the 3rd round. That's just how it goes. That's the life of a running back in the NFL, unfortunately. Okay, now for the actual top 5 running backs in the NFL going into 2020, in my opinion. At number 5, I have Nick Chubb for the Cleveland Browns. I absolutely love Nick Chubb. I think he's a very talented back. Now, the reason why he's not higher on my list is because, and I hate them for this, the Browns have Kareem Hunt. So, you already know. They're going to probably do the whole splitting carries thing, maybe not 50-50, but maybe 60-40. So, yeah, even though last year that wasn't much of the case, Chubb got most of the carries, but I feel like this year they're going to utilize both running backs more. So I think Nick Chubb's numbers could take a hit. And if you're a fantasy football person, you absolutely hate this, because you don't know what running back's gonna get the ball. They usually go with the hot hand, how they say. So Nick Chubb's numbers can definitely be affected, but hey, I still think he's a very talented running back, and I think if given the chance, he can easily put up monster numbers in the NFL and in fantasy football. He can do it all. All right, coming in at number 4, and I might catch some, I guess, criticism for this one. I got Derrick Henry. Now look, if we're talking about pure running, like straight up just running, like the running part of running backs, Derrick Henry is without a doubt, in my opinion, the best pure running back in the league. But see, I'm talking about all around running back, not just running, also receiving and blocking as well, picking up blitzes. And Derrick Henry hasn't done so well in those last two parts, the picking up blitzes, the blocking, the receiving. Like, he is not really a threat in that aspect, I guess you could say. But in terms of running, jeez, you can't stop that guy. Once he gets going, it's over. And if it's late in the fourth quarter and the Titans are trying to grind out a game and finish it, good luck trying to stop Derrick Henry, because the dude will wear you down. I mean, who wants to keep tackling Derrick Henry repeatedly over and over and over and over? The dude's like 6'3", 250 pounds. The dude's, Jesus Christ, he's an animal. And if you're a DB, I feel bad for you. If you're a DB, Derrick Henry turns you into one of his blockers. That's how good Derrick Henry is. The dude single-handedly carried the Tennessee Titans to the AFC Championship game last season. And then for whatever reason, the Titans stopped running the ball once they got a pretty big lead on the Chiefs, which is funny because that's the same thing the Texans did and the Niners did. Makes no sense. 3 teams that love to run the ball stop running the ball once they get big leads. Weird, huh? Anyways, moving on. At number 3, I have Ezekiel Elliott from the Dallas Cowboys, and I know a lot of you guys watching are Texans fans, so you're going to hate that I have Ezekiel Elliott in my top 3, but Ezekiel Elliott is easily one of the better running backs in the NFL, and in fact, I think if last year, you look at Ezekiel Elliott, he clearly didn't have as good a year as he's had before, but I think large part of that is because the Cowboys tried to be a passing team last year, which makes no sense to me. I mean, last year they were built, or they've been built. That team is built for a run game. They were built around Ezekiel Elliott, but they tried to turn it into Dak Prescott's team, and now they go out there and draft CeeDee Lamb. So what are they going to do? They built their team for like the past, 5-6 years. They've been building their team to be centered around the run game, and they bring in all these receivers and try to center it around Dak Prescott. So that's kind of confusing. I would really like the Cowboys to go back to a run-first team. Let Ezekiel Elliott carry the team, and Dak Prescott manages the game. Because when Dak Prescott's a game manager, I think he does a fine job. But once you put the game in his hands, then he completely sucks. So give the ball to Zeke. Feed Zeke. If you feed Zeke, Zeke is easily a top 3 running back in the NFL. Now, coming in at number 2, I have Saquon Barkley. Now, last year, Saquon Barkley got hurt, so obviously he didn't have as good a year as he did his rookie year, but Saquon Barkley is still a very talented back. He's an all-around back that can do it all, and he's very difficult to stop. The Giants, well, they believe in Daniel Jones. They're building that offensive line, so they're getting him some help. And I think Saquon Barkley is kind of like Derrick Henry in a way. Like, if you keep feeding him, like, he's going to be unstoppable in the fourth quarter. I think Saquon Barkley is definitely one of the better running backs in the league. Don't get it twisted. Just because he was hurt last year doesn't mean he's no longer the guy who he was supposed to be when he got drafted. He is still a very talented running back, and if Daniel Jones, he improves, because he definitely showed some promise his rookie year, but he definitely needs to get better. So if he improves, that Giants offense can be a little dangerous, especially if it's centered around Saquon Barkley. And at number 1, I have Lamar Jackson. Now, Lamar Jackson is a very talented running back. I'm just playing. At number 1, I have Christian McCaffrey. I mean, should I even say more? Like, dude is good at everything that he does. He's essentially a receiver and a running back. Like, legit. The dude, I don't even know what to say about him. Like, you guys know what he does, and he does it very well. Unfortunately for Panthers fans, the Panthers, they're kind of going nowhere. They don't have a quarterback. I mean, personally, I don't believe in Teddy Bridgewater, not with that offensive line. He does have some weapons, the Panthers do. You know, they have DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, Robbie Anderson. Their defense took a huge hit with Luke Kuechly retiring. So, from the looks of it, Christian McCaffrey is going to be that offense. Bridgewater's going to be dumping the ball down to Christian McCaffrey, and McCaffrey's going to be getting first downs. They're going to hand it off to Christian McCaffrey. He's going to go to the left, or he's going to go to the right. He's going to go down the middle. Like, that offense is going to be centered around Christian McCaffrey. Like, he's going to be the whole offense despite them having other weapons. And for that reason, he's my number 1 running back. And that's part of the reason, because he's definitely a very talented running back that can do it all legit. But you also got to consider he's going to have a heavy workload this season. Like, heavier than anyone else on my list, in my opinion, because like I said about Nick Chubb, he has Kareem Hunt. Derrick Henry, sometimes they sub him out on third downs. Ezekiel Elliott, he has a good offensive line despite Frederick retiring. He has a decent quarterback with very good weapons. Saquon Barkley, they let Daniel Jones throw it around, so it's not going to be all Saquon Barkley with the Giants. But with the Panthers, it's going to be all Christian McCaffrey. So, hey, if you're a fantasy football person, draft Christian McCaffrey first overall, because the dude's going to explode again. He's going to make all these plays. He's going to be their whole offense. He's going to have 20 touchdowns, 100 receptions, over 2,500 all-purpose yards receiving and running. So, yeah, Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in the league, in my opinion. And like I said at the start of the video, comment down below your top 5 running backs in the NFL. And be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.